Okay, so my birthday was about 2 months ago now, and I have failed at all of the goals that I have set from that birthday episode that I recorded 2 months ago. But just kidding. I actually am working on it. I'm just not as far along as I thought I would be, specifically more with like the health and fitness side of things. Let me explain. So, 2 months ago, like I said, it was my birthday, and I used my birthday as a time to reflect and plan for the next year of my life. Think of it as New Year's resolution, except it's my birthday and I'm looking at like a year in my life, not like the actual year, like 2025. Also, my birthday being in June, it is nice because that halfway mark on either side is either my birthday or it is New Year's. So that's kind of exciting and I guess a cool thing to like check in as well. So for my birthday, I usually open the notes app in my phone and I put everything in there, like a bucket list for the year, a to-do list, goals, themes, vibes, a saying, a song, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So everything kind of gets like brain dumped into a note. And then from there, I revisit it often. And one of my biggest things that I wanted to start doing was really focusing on my nervous system and my digestive health. And 2 months in, that has been about 50%, I will say. So, the biggest reason why I really wanted to focus on digestive health is because sometimes I do think my digestive system is a little bit slower or it is funky where I'm going all of the time or like none of the time. And I know that that is not normal. And because I am a nutrition coach, I know that that can also be remedied. So the digestive support is actually going pretty well. I have really focused on my breakfast, lunches, and dinners. I'm not snacking as much. I'm not going out to eat as much. I have added in supplements that I do believe help with my digestive system, like glutamine, and things are really like feeling good, looking good, and feeling like they are moving through my body much better, which is amazing. On the flip side, my nervous system stuff has not been going at all. Like I literally just haven't really tried, to be honest with you. There are a couple things that I am doing. Like for example, I did not think I'd be sharing this with you, so hold on. I started doing this every single day. So the pivot year, maybe not every day, like most days I do it, where I will read a page from this and journal on whatever comes up. So things like that are helping. However, I know that there is more with my nervous system that I really want to dive into this year. And so this is me keeping myself accountable and coming on here to share that with you as well. And then also because I think it is so important, even though I am a nutrition coach, a hormone coach, and a personal trainer, I want to share with you guys like the real side of it. Like, I am not perfect by any means. I fail at my goals or I don't hit my goals or my goals need to be adjusted. And that is just like the reality of it. So for the nervous system piece of it, actually, this week my stepson has left for college, and that is another huge piece of my nervous system. Not because there's anything wrong. We don't have a bad relationship. The co-parenting is like pretty easy. Like everything is like great. But I do think when you have somebody like the dynamic kind of change, it is a perfect time to start goals. And I'm also curious with these changes, just for our personal lives, how that does impact my nervous system in other ways. And so I will be kind of documenting that. I believe I'm still kind of still on the cusp of how much I want to share with that, but I do believe that there will be changes to me specifically because of this big change of him going off to college. And I mean, like, my goodness, how could it not? I am 37 years old and I am an empty nester now. Like, what? That is crazy. So I'm planning on kind of documenting all of that as well. And I do think it will help my nervous system. So stay tuned for that. A couple other findings I have found just in the past 2 months was like one of the biggest finding I had was that I was starting to let myself slip again. So when I say that, with my workouts, I was starting to work out almost every day again because I really like I was feeling good. I loved it. But I also know for me that this is a slippery slope and I do prioritize with my clients to take at least 2 days off, 2 rest days. And I also need to be doing that. And so this is me calling myself out on my BS because I let that slip and I was taking maybe 1 day off. And that day off was typically because I was just really busy at work and couldn't take it off. So there's already stress there, anyways. And I noticed that I was just letting everything kind of come back in. So over the past 2 weeks, I've actually um, caught myself doing that, caught myself skipping the rest days or doing more or thinking I need to do more. And I've reeled it back in. And so this fall specifically, I am focusing on a different approach to my workouts. I will be doing 2 runs, most likely zone 2, nothing crazy, just trying to build a little bit more of my VO2 max, especially in like the fall, winter off season. Not that I have any races planned or anything like that. Don't quote me on that. But I just want to improve in running. I used to be a really good runner. And so I'm only human, right? I'm just a girl. I compare who I am today as a runner to who I was 15 years ago when I was really, really good at running. And they're not the same person, but I do want to improve. I know how to improve. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to be doing 2 zone 2 run days per week. If I'm in my more high energy phases, like my follicular phase, I plan on doing more, like maybe adding in a sprint workout after one of my like upper body workouts or something like that, so that I can also get a little like pushing a little bit of that max. With the lifting side of things, I'll be lifting 3 days a week. 2 of those will be upper body days. One day mostly focused on the anterior chain, the next day mostly focused on the posterior chain. So making sure I am hitting all of the muscle groups. And then that third day will be a lower body workout. I'm only having one lower body workout because running is also very hard on your lower body and very stressful on your lower body. So I don't feel the need to put more volume because with my history, that has led to more injuries, and that is not the goal at all. So with my workout changes, I also do believe that that will go in and help my nervous system changes that I'm looking to make. And I'm very excited about that. So stay tuned. Meal changes. This one's going to be kind of like a bigger one because with my stepson going off to college, he's very, very like carnivore-esque, like very protein focused. Whereas me on the other end, I don't feel great with like a high protein diet. And that's just my personal preference. Please do not do what I do. Make sure you find your way of eating, your way of movement that feels best for you. So for me, focusing on more of like fruits and vegetables and having protein as well, but it's very like protein fiber forward and not so much protein forward like I used to be when I was in my 20s or even around his age as well. So that will be a change just because we aren't going to be feeding him. And my husband also feels the same way about diet as I do, of like more fiber forward, though we are still having protein. So that will be a change. Also, our grocery bill will be a change. And yes, we have another bill with college and everything, but the grocery bill will just be a lot different week by week. So that will be a change. Also, that will continue to help with my digestive system. And with your digestive system, it also impacts your nervous system. So I'm excited to see those changes as well. So basically, this is just me coming on here, kind of calling myself out on my BS because I fully expected to be much further than I am today. After 2 months ago setting all of these goals, I thought I would be much further ahead, and I'm not. And the real life of it is that's okay because we have a lifetime to be doing all of this. So we're not just meeting our goal and then quitting on our goals or quitting on ourselves. Once we meet these goals, there's still room for other areas of opportunity, room for improvement. Maybe our goals are pivoting into another way. And I just want to share that too, because I think a lot of people I've worked with in the past, or even myself, and maybe you can relate to this too. I think we once we get to a certain thing, whether it is like once I lose X amount of weight, or once my kid goes off to school, or once this happens, then I'll be happy, everything will be good, and I don't have to work on it anymore. And the truth is after you achieve it is usually when you have to work on it more. and harder to keep it. Otherwise, you're just going through this whole thing of like yo-yo dieting or losing weight and then gaining it back, et cetera. And it's very easy to slip back into your old self. So I'm not perfect. I want to be very relatable with this because I think social media oftentimes shows like, oh, here's where I was, and it's like the most miserable thing. And then here's where I'm going, and it's like a highlight reel. And we don't see the in between or the struggles of keeping the highlight reel as well. And so, though I do not have any like physique type goals at this time, I just want to be stronger, faster, stay injury free, not mess with my hormones because overworking out is actually what caused my PCOS. I have all of these things of I just want to live a very healthy and fulfilling life. And there are things that I know I need to work on, like my nervous system or like my digestive system, that I have put off for a very long time because it's not the sexy work, it's not the fun work. If you told me just go work out all the time, I could do that. But it's this other stuff that is harder. And I want to bring awareness to it as well as awareness to just like it's hard. Like all of this is hard. The health is hard. But you get to pick your hard. And for me, I'm just so thankful. Like every day I get to pick the hard that is going towards me feeling better, managing my hormones, not having endometriosis flare-ups or PCOS flare-ups that make me feel really like uncomfortable or not safe or not home in my body. And yeah, I'm doing a lot of like the ugly, like the not cute stuff. Like I'm not dieting. I'm not gonna have like a extreme before and after picture. I'm not gonna be like hitting like a crazy PR or anything. But these other things are important too for if you are dieting or if you are wanting to hit a PR or if you are wanting to look a certain way. So that is what I have going on right now. And there are obviously way more layers to my goals, especially if you go back and watch the video from my birthday in. And I laid out all these goals, but these were the two big ones that I really wanted to be further along in 2 months. And one of them is great. The other one, not so much, but there's always time to pivot and change and focus on that. So I will be focusing on my nervous system, and I'll probably pop in a month or so just to kind of talk about where I am. I also am planning on doing a vlog for a lot of the changes that are happening in my life just with my stepson going away to college, and we will see how that goes. Again, I'm still kind of waffling on how much to share about that, and not because of him or anything, but I've just very statistically been like a very guarded person and don't enjoy sharing too much about myself. So all of this is like it's a challenge for me and it's a fun challenge, but it's harder sometimes to share. So stay tuned for that. And I am curious if you are working on any goals right now. What are you currently working on? What needs maybe a little bit more TLC or a revisit of your time and energy? Drop them in the comments. And that is all I have for you this week on Hormone Happy Hour. I will chat with you next time. Cheers.